theirs,
Okay.
and then the comments. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, good evening. This is official public hearing, Tuesday, November 1st, 2022, Council Chamber, 6:30 p.m. Call this here. Mike Murphy, Building Inspector. Step forward. Evening.
So this public hearing is about the rezoning southwest corner Stardust of the property. Is going from B zone shop straight zoning staff. It's good.
My only question is somewhat contiguous to how's that?
It the planning and zoning they're saying a street shouldn't separate. They're saying a street is touching
Right.
so touches having closed street. So
And that's kind of what the only thing.
Is-
Street, not a
is-
resident. Okay. Basically clarifying.
making that clear.
Question.
There was one, I guess, outstanding, what I want to say, a piece of information wasn't quite available. Mr. Terrell and I had a meeting for the public works concerning storm drain property. Actually, final plat building storm drain. Mr. Terrell stand. Because the cost should something. Right. It was a productive meeting. I think we're all on, everybody's on the same page. It'd be placed on your new plat when it's recorded.
That's the way.
Why wasn't
I guess it was always, I guess it was assumed it was there, but it was never that way. Is the way, and Norm Elderbrock. It's like he did the actual original platting of that, I think, and he remembered putting that easement in, but it not. So, well, then when that was brought up, and it was brought up to planning and zoning, way it was explained, and he said if it's a plain and zoning, it showed the easement plat there. It was at that meeting. It was approved. So plat shows it now, and when it went through plain zoning, that it was. So in the past, I don't know. It was more.
Years ago, no.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
And you don't have an answer right now, and you want to come back to me in the future.
Right.
But what have we done?
You know, to say that, take that instance, everybody, till it was, till they looked at buying it and doing all this, probably everybody thought it was just on. It's probably case by case basis. And you might get into
You can't control what happens at
the courthouse,
record.
right?
Wouldn't have, yes, you wouldn't have known. Wouldn't know until plats on each and
Exactly.
every.
And you'd have to check. That's what you're.
I don't like that answer, but what we got.
See, that's. I don't know what else you could do. So just do your due diligence and make sure. Just like this, you know, it's on there now. Agreement. We approve this plat that it's going to be on there.
Well, and actually, back out
And that's, yeah, exactly. We realized the first plat actually didn't have it on, caught that, and went back to Norman, and he had to plat showing. They-
As was explained out there, there is no funding for storm sewer, something the Board of Public Works is pursuing. So there's no funding to help with. Charles, city.
I'll tell you what, are you,
Unless anybody wants to.
okay? Why don't you guys come up, that way we can, the traffic outside and the rest of it. It's not picking up real well. Just say your name before you speak, that way we can all straight.
I don't feel like that. I feel as though the meeting we had with was more protection. So there are consequences of a storm sewer altering. You're asking an attorney question or not.
If I were in your position, yeah, I'd be frustrated. I get it. I'm not going to sit here. No, I'd be frustrated. I wish I could. All the mistakes. A lot of us were here. And honest mistakes, they do occur on an occasional basis, but it's frustrating when you into a project, have skin in it. I totally. I wish I could wave a magic wand and make it
Obviously, we can make it work. Kind of asked. Said, hey.
That would be a board
Yeah,
question,
right.
not a-
And
But they just basically
But
said no.
also-
they said,
And I get it. They said no. Funny, but us were like, that's not my problem. You don't have any funding.
But what I
what if you
would-
didn't?
Right. What if I did?
What I would say is that on the surfer, like, we can able to not come.
That's not worth it for us to.
And
I think the Board of Public Works has a tap fee for sewer that that you might be able to talk with some of the directors and see if you can get maybe that waive in lieu of the storm drain situation. And I'm just I'm not promising anything, saying that maybe that's something. I hate it for you that you're in a non-fundable, deposit. Step back, reconsider. Kind of tied to $1,000 would be a lot of money to me. Right. But, no, it'd be a great.
hey guys, thanks. Well, let's see how future things will work out there. Okay. This time the floor is open for public comments. Anybody who wishes to speak for or against this rezoning process this time.
So, Darryl, if you get ready on in your plans, ready sewer, want to contact me, I'd be happy to help you.
Being no one coming forward, I'll go ahead and call this public hearing closed. Okay, being 6:45, Tuesday, November 1st, official public hearing. Call this public hearing to order. Once again, Mike Murphy, Building Inspector. In a while.
This is basically just to change some words in chapter. This is, in a nutshell, it's basically just 911, some input, street. So don't sound the same. So
Like Crescent Street, Crescent Drive, and sections of Ann Street. Okay.
So, and it just, they weren't. And it just gives them a say. Engineers still have to kind of, so say they have. It's gonna
Support.
fine,
Support.
but they'll have probably since they do. So,
Final state still stays city.
Questions for this matter? Good. This time, the floor is open for public comments regarding this Code of Advertising, Chapter 29. Is there anyone who wishes to speak for or against at this time? Seeing no one come forward, I'll go ahead and call the public hearing to end and adjourn this public hearing. We'll convene with the regularly scheduled council meeting at 7. November's the 3rd. Yes. Okay, good evening, everyone. This is the official council agenda, City of Hannibal, Tuesday, November 1st, 2022. Council chambers, 7 p.m. I'd ask the clerk to call the roll.
Councilmembers Veach, McCoy.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson.
Here.
Councilmembers Franke.
Present.
Mayor Hart.
Here.
Councilmembers Phillips and Welch.
Is still a quorum present.
It's kind of unbalanced.
Just a tad unbalanced this evening.
I like the room.
Yeah.
Right?
Balance.
I'll make a motion to council persons.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. This time, Mayor Pro Tem Dobson, would you invocation?
Glorious God, you promised to open the doors of blessing, and we ask that you mightily in us today, come upon us and cause us to have a productive meeting. Lead each one of us so that we can make contributions to time. Enable us to think and strategize in ways that great purify our thoughts and motives, so that one of us will enter this meeting desiring the good of others. Amen.
Director of Central Services, Andy Dorian, would you please? Council, at this time, I'd ask for a motion to approve the agenda as that has been posted this Tuesday, November 1st.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Now requesting a motion to approve the minutes of the regularly scheduled council meeting of October 18th, 2022.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion's carried. Seeking a motion to approve the payroll and claims, payroll and accounts payable, second half of October 2022.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion over payroll and accounts payable? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion's carried. First item on the agenda is Katie Welch, Historic Hannibal Marketing Council.
Good evening. Oh, are you not ready for me yet?
No,
Okay.
proceed. I'm sorry.
All right.
Katie, you guys are doing great things. We should just reserve a seat for you here. As much
I
as you
know.
come see us.
Honestly, I'm like, if we could get it together, we could probably just do all of these at once
There you go.
instead of like 7 of us coming every other week.
So you have a special event application before us this evening.
For Christmas Living Windows on December 10th from 5 to 8 p.m. We're requesting the closure to start at 3 p.m.
Everybody had a chance. Kind of the same thing
Same
we've done in the
thing as
past, except
normal.
just got bigger.
Yep, just bigger, and we are doing vendors again this year, so I'll get that list to Britta when we get those people. Just a handful of food and drink vendors. We've got a popcorn person and maybe a hot dog guy coming. So, yeah.
Motion to.
Motion is second. Discussion.
It's a great event. You know, my wife and welcome.
Thank you. Yep,
Thank you.
it's one of our biggest hits, I think. Yep. Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
All right.
Motion's carried. Now you're good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I think we were there. Next on the agenda is Jason Craigbaum with Heartland Auto and Towing. sir.
Council Lomdale's here to ask for the approval again for the parade for the veterans this Saturday, 5th, 10 to 12. Turn on.
See, signed off, certificate of insurance is forthcoming. Objection, staff.
I'd just make a motion to approve and thank Mr. Krigman for sponsoring the event on a basis. Great job at it and service to the veterans. Thank you.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and I will abstain. Good. Well, I'll go out on a limb. I've approved
don't
veterans parades in the past.
I'd suggest you, Mayor, any of your duties, and obviously, I don't think you have a conflict.
I will not abstain. Favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Council.
Next on the agenda is April Azate, 24th Main.
I'm just wanting to know an update on that survey.
It's an item that will be coming. About 2 more spots, survey and
Yeah,
everything
that-
with the parking.
That-
Actually, so,
that's-
yeah, it's on the agenda for
We
tonight.
can wait, that's fine.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, April. Council, next on the agenda, I have myself here, first reading recommendation of reappointment to the Police and Fireman Retirement Fund, John Dean, reappointment for a term to expire December of 2025. This is the first reading, first presentation. I'll come back to next meeting. Time to do that. Give you time to review that appointment.
I'm just teasing.
Okay. All right. So that's all under my name. Next item, Lisa Peck, City Manager, update downtown parking survey.
Yes, so, hot off the presses, received 22 responses to the survey. The first question was, should the city of Hannibal allow businesses to lease spaces in downtown public parking lots? 3 individuals said yes, 19 said no. And then, if your answer was yes, would you be interested in leasing a parking space? There were, I think there was some question, 8 answers, and so, and then there was a breakdown of whether the business owner or building. So, and then I provided council about 2 pages of comments. I'm happy to, but again, out of the 22 respondents,
I already know the answer. It's just they might not. This isn't fine.
No.
They fact finding slash.
Read this one. Yes. The others were pretty okay.
operate that quorum, but might have come in an email, but I'm seeing this. So I don't think the city manager is looking for a yes or no vote. So I'm not sure.
I, I think it'd be best to take this later time and some city manager or council people see where we can go with this. I'm like you, I don't think yeah, let's go ahead and roll the tape back. Go ahead and come up now.
Curious as to how the survey was done, and what businesses and property owners given the survey, because I've personally spoke to several businesses as well as property owners that have not gotten any type of survey.
Well, 22 did, and it was distributed to HH, and then that I took a list of the names and addresses that did of the property, and then
Well, several of the business owners and property owners downtown that are also part of the HHMC received this survey at all,
I would
or
be
know
happy
nothing
if
about
any
it.
of them like to reach out to me. I would be happy.
Well, so again, this is in regards to all of downtown businesses and property owners, correct?
And all of
So,
HHMC.
okay, but there are again several businesses and property owners downtown that know nothing about the survey. So I'm just, I guess, curious as to how you
It would
picked and choose what
probably be-
property owners or
I-
businesses to give the survey to.
I explained that already.
Not
so-
very clearly because I'm still confused
Okay.
as to
Yeah.
how you decided who got the survey.
So it was out to the HHMC, and then additionally, it was mailed out to the property owners that were from the list of property owners down there. So that's how, and I did receive surveys that were mailed back. So if there's anybody who not received it, I would be, if they want to reach out to me and talk to me.
Okay.
I
just-
didn't hear anything from anyone.
For it to be fair, I just feel like everybody should have been included,
That would,
yet it didn't, because I've spoke to several businesses downtown that know nothing about this.
please tell them. I haven't. heard
Okay, and
anybody.
then as far as what questions were on the survey, is that something that I can be provided with as well?
Yeah, I kind of read through those when I went over the survey, but should the city of Hannibal allow businesses to lease space in downtown public parking lots? And that was where there were 20 responses, 19 of those were no's. And then the next question was, if your answer was yes, would you be interested in leasing public parking? Now, there I think there was some confusion because it was if your answer was yes, but we did get 8 responses on that. One of them was a yes, trusted. And then the final question, whether or not for business owner, building.
So essentially, it's up to property owners and or businesses to dictate whether or not the city lets me lease the city's property.
I was directed.
No, I'm just,
No, it's up
I'm,
to the
I'm
council
at,
to-
well, I think the survey, whether or not they would like to lease spots, that's why I'm confused about the whole survey, if they would like the option or in regards to whether or not I'm able
Councilman
to.
Franke addressed that question regarding whether this was binding. And what he meant by that is council doesn't have to follow this. informative. It's them kind of what the tenor of the opinion is
Of
down there.
if others would
But-
like the option.
But but it's not binding. That was the question he asked me. That's the point he was making. It's not binding. Councilors are the ones that decided. I think by the mayor, Councilman Franke, pass it was so that we had all the council here to talk to you and talk among themselves and make a decision. I think that was his opinion and the mayor's opinion.
Well, so the last meeting that I was at, I was under the impression that I was going before council per the letter I got from the city to essentially sign a lease and them to tell me what I would be paying per parking spot. But then there was a motion moved to do a survey in regards to whether or not other businesses or property owners would like this. So I'm just kind of confused, I guess.
I didn't write the letter, but I saw the letter. I think it was from the building inspector's office. But their concern was the fact that you marked several spaces as no parking. And their point was, because they had asked me for a legal, and then what I had indicated to them was that you can't mark a space as no parking unless you have a lease agreement. So I think what he said in his letter, and I'm paraphrasing because I didn't write it, but I did read it. I think what he was trying to convey was this is something that if you're going to have signs up, you have to talk to the council about leasing. That he didn't have the authority to lease it to you. I think his
Right.
point was you should come and talk to the council and see what their pleasure is. And I may be misspeaking. I know Mike's here, but isn't that about what you
Yeah.
said? And
That's
again,
what I understood too.
you know, to refresh everybody's recollection, when we had the discussion, there were a lot of differing opinions. There were some council people that said, yeah, I think it'd be okay. Some council people said that idea. As I recall, I don't recall who came up with it. Somebody wanted the city manager to go talk to everybody to try to be fair so that they would get opinions from everyone so they would have a more informed decision. So I think that was the purpose of the directing the city manager survey, was to get more informed.
So, again, maybe I'm misunderstanding, but the last meeting, I got on the agenda to lease 2 spots. And then, in my opinion, or my understanding, the survey was to give other businesses and property owners that option as well. Correct? I just want to make sure that I understand correctly is all.
I took it that there were pro and anti. They wanted property. As I recall, again, I'm just going off of memory. As I recall, there were some council people who thought that if we started leasing spaces, it'd be something of a slippery slope, and it'd be something hard to allocate appropriate numbers of lease spaces and gets a fair space, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
And I think the discussion was, why don't we ask? Because for all we know, nobody down there cares. Maybe the business owner wouldn't care, or maybe would be interested. Or
Maybe
let's
other
see.
business owners are doing what I'm doing.
I don't know. The only spots I was made aware of where there was a sign up spot, and I'm not pointing a finger, I'm just saying
No,
that was
I'm
the
just
only
not
thing I
going to
was
throw
made
other
aware of.
businesses under the bus. The reason why I did this is for the safety of my staff. And I've had 2 girls followed home now. And that's why I even suggested, because I think there was a couple of councilmen that said, well, what about the businesses during the day? By no means am I trying to take up any parking spots of any day businesses. And I had even suggested, even if there was a sign that says no parking between 5 p.m. and 1 a.m., I'm a nighttime business, and on festival weekends when we don't get out of there till 3 a.m., the safety of my staff and obviously females is very important to me. And I even after that asked just to even have signs for festival weekends, because that seems to be the biggest issue for my staff. So
And I would suggest that at this point, all we know is that the city manager has a survey, which admittedly sounds like a lot of business owners down anti, but you've indicated there are some people who perhaps want to be heard that maybe would supplement city
No, they
manager.
just said that they've never been given a survey, know nothing about it.
But either way, that's neither here nor there. And the council ultimately be the people to make the final decision, and that where we are right now, I think Councilman Franke and the Mayor are in agreement that we ought to have the entire council talk about making a decision. So I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but and
I think where
certainly
my
hate to
frustration
say-
lies is it keeps getting
I understand.
pushed back.
But unfortunately, we're missing 3 council. And I'd suggest probably be fair if they were all there. I mean, I suppose you could ask them right now. I don't know how that's going to turn out, but
It's
I
just
don't know if they're going to be
super
willing
frustrating when this has been delayed very long. And when they even re-asphalted the parking lot next to the lounge, my dumpster was moved all the way back to the alley to where my girls don't even feel safe taking out trash all the way back to the alley because my dumpster wasn't moved back. And for the second time my parking lot has been re-asphalted, I had to cut off the bottom gate of my door that was asphalted shut.
problem. Respectfully, and again, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I don't think the council's willing to give you a response on your lease request today. Something that probably could be taken up at the next meeting or the meeting after that, depending on what's convenient for you.
This is the third I've been at, and nothing has
I
been
understand.
resolved.
Do you want us to take a vote tonight?
It's just frustrating because like when my girls don't even
Do
feel
you want us to
safe,
take a vote?
I mean, if we need to wait for the other council, I mean, I don't really have a choice, but
I
the
think of
safety
a
of
vote
my
tonight,
staff is
but
my
I
number
would-
one priority.
I would agree with the city attorney. It would be more appropriate for all. I think you better represented as well
It's just frustrating.
by
that it keeps
having
getting put
all
off.
council here. I feel that way whenever there's a vote that's going to affect the masses, and we're
Mhm.
talking to masses, which would be all the business owners.
Sorry.
No, I'm sorry, I'm done.
April, do you mind if I gave you some unsolicited advice? No is a
all
fair
means,
answer.
By
Okay.
all means.
In your shoes, I might ask for a copy of this, which you're entitled to. Have your friends reach out to the city manager so they can complete their copy of the survey. In the meantime, call all 7 of us, let us know what you think. Okay, and then I apologize. Government, it frustrates me. Frustrates you.
Extra copy, so you don't have to jump through any hoops. So right here.
Yep.
Mayor, may I add something while we're digesting this?
Yes, sir.
And April brought up safety of the downtown. Our police chief has initiated a program to encourage business owners to sign up their cameras for downtown. He would also like to find funding, locate at least 3 cameras down in light of what's happened down there and in light of if you've seen local news the past couple of days, got a problem in Quincy. I think it's a very good idea to support wholly the chief's intentions to locate at least 3 cameras. She brought up the safety of her employees. The cameras greatly benefit that because everything would be down there. So I would ask the council to, in addition to looking at this, digest maybe ways that funding help support the chief's initiative.
Can I ask a follow-up, or are we?
No,
I think you're okay.
we're on.
Sid's probably 2 or 3 years out of having it. But yes, if that board would go for that. And I know Chief's not gonna be happy with 2 or 3 cameras downtown. He's gonna want more, so, it's a deterrent. If you got cameras down there, just like the kids, riding bicycles, scooters on the sidewalks, kind of hassling our pedestrians down there, it records that, and that's make things safer. Thank you.
Sounds like reading. Next on the agenda is Supervisor City Clerk.
Mayor and council, I have one item this evening, housekeeping, destruction of records. And as you may recall, the Missouri Secretary of State's office oversees document retention for Missouri's political subdivisions and identifies timelines for certain records destroyed. Also, as a requirement, is council's authorization to destroy these records, which are attached as Exhibit 12. And upon approval, items listed in minutes to serve as a permanent record, also in accordance with practice outlined by the Secretary. Pending approval, the staff will oversee the shredding and disposition.
Is there a motion to approve? Motion and a second. Questions?
Yeah, got a question. Curiosity. I looked through the exhibit. Every random category document available. So state statutes regulate each random category.
They do have, if you look at it, the actual manual is probably close to, and it does identify, so you have to actually search to determine which category the document is fit under. So there are certain categories. We could probably condense a couple of these. Like there is a duplicate on here for just identifying 2009 to 2013 and 14 to 20 on records for clerk files. I said a couple of them could probably be consolidated. There are numerous categories. I want to quench your reading thirst. Get on the Secretary of State's website and enjoy yourself.
No, I think you've doused it, but thank you. Yeah.
Sleepy.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Megan Rapp, Director of HVAC. Close enough.
Council, tonight on the agenda, I have a request to accept the low bid to patients our 2020. Got bids for 100,000, 5,000 copies. Looking at this year and have scheduled this year, we're deciding to received 2 bids. The bid was patient.
Megan, just curious, how many of those actually get distributed? Go through.
It depends. I mean, obviously 2020.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But we're going to keep it at 100,000 this year because of the number of votes. We send out, give everyone bags. So every passenger receives a welcome bag if they choose to take it. Also groups, conventions, to Hannibal in that capacity. Anybody that requests welcome bags, we do have some businesses downtown that request welcome bags. Some of the customers. It's our mailed gift piece, so we have the visitor's guide on our website, but some people have it, so we mail those out. We also mail them out to centers across the state. Anyone that requests them, AAA office, Springfield, and then have a distribution program as well.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second. Discussion. None. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Mike Murphy, Building Inspector.
So, 3 items here. Separate.
Yes, if you would, go through each bill separately.
The first one is chapter vision.
Next item.
Next item. Final plat. Soon sub start. It's been just away. It's the street. It's the, say, third one is for zoning southwest. Start.
Our information says south.
South.
Actually,
South.
is south.
Southwest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of why I questioned earlier in the public hearing, the location of that proximity to businesses. So we're all to follow. Anything else, Mike? Thank you, sir. Council, we have before us bill number 22-028. Should have clerk give this bill a second and final reading. Roll. Set for adoption.
I think, lack of the other councilman here, like about earlier, probably be a good idea to take this item until we have the full council. Yes.
Motion second. Table this particular bill. Discussion. Not. Favor say aye.
Aye.
Carried. To the next bill then, Bill 22-029. Motion to have clerk give this bill a second and final reading. Motion and a second. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
2202 of the City of Revising Chapter Alcoholic Beverages, Division Section -9 License Requirement, second and final reading. Councilmembers,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson.
Yes.
Councilmember Franke. Mayor Hart.
Declare bill number 22-029 duly approved and adopted on this day. Now have bill number 22-030. Motion to have this bill at first reading. Second. Discussion.
Just in transparency, for transparency, I do sit on the. I will.
Favor say aye.
Aye.
Bill number 22-030, ordinance of the City of Hannibal revising Chapter 29, Subdivision Article 2, plat approval, preliminary plat, revised ordinances of the City of Hannibal by revoking Section 9-56 contents, enacting Section 6 in its place.
Now we have bill number 22-031. I need a motion to have the clerk give this bill a first reading. Motion and a second. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Bill number 20-03 of the City of Hannibal approving, accepting the final plat of Vista Way subdivision part of Lot 5 and Block 2nd, buying part of Lots 1 to 10, Block buying half of Section Township 7 North, Range 5 West of Principal County, Missouri.
Okay. Next we have 22-032. I need a motion to give this bill a first reading.
Second.
Motion to second discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion
Okay, here we go. Bill number 22-032, an ordinance of the City of Hannibal rezoning a tract of land being in part of Lot 5 in Hawk Addition, second revision lying in part of lots 1 through 10 in Hawk Addition, lying in part of east half of Section 24, Township 57 North, Range 5 West of the 5th Meridian in the City of Hannibal, Marion County, Missouri, from B multiple family to E commercial zoning district, and amending the city's zoning map.
Okay, council, at this time, there's a request to go into closed session in accordance with RSMO 610.021, paragraph 1. Myself, council, city manager, city attorney, city clerk, Judge Bastian, special counsel Volker. I think that's it.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Councilmember McCoy,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson.
Yes.
Councilmember Franke, and Mayor Hark.